After government acceptance of the vehicle, it was folded, covered, and crated for shipment to the Kennedy Space Center. After delivery to KSC, the vehicle was unfolded and completely checked out again, and another crew station review was conducted. The LRV was then folded for the final time and installed in its flight position inside the lunar module of the Apollo 15 spacecraft, several months before launch. The LRV had received its final go, while the rest of the Apollo and the Saturn V launch vehicle would undergo further checkouts. Then the entire Saturn Apollo vehicle was moved aboard the giant transporter from the vehicle assembly building 3.5 miles to the launch pad, where it would undergo constant check and recheck right up until launch date. On July 26, 1971, Apollo 15, carrying the first lunar roving vehicle aboard, was successfully launched. After a 3-day trans-lunar coast, the landing site was spotted, the rugged Hadley Apennine region, a potentially hazardous but scientifically interesting area of the moon.
15 at 1. -1. -1. 6% fuel. 10 feet -1. 8 feet -1. Contact.
The landing was successfully achieved. Apollo 15 Commander David Scott became the 7th man to set foot on the moon, with live color TV coverage beamed back to Earth. Lunar module pilot James Irwin followed soon afterward, and they set about deploying the Lunar Roving Vehicle for their first drive over the lunar surface.
Looks like she's coming down okay. Hey, can you pull it out a little bit, Jim? Up that. That looks good.
With minor difficulty, deployment and setup were successfully accomplished in 26 minutes. During initial checkout of the LRV, astronaut Scott discovered that the front steering mechanism was inoperable. However, the first lunar traverse of a scheduled 3 proceeded satisfactorily, using only rear-wheel steering. Before the second traverse, the astronauts and LRV specialists on the ground succeeded in freeing the front steering mechanism.
You know what I bet you did last night, Joe? You let some of those Marshall guys come up here and fix it, didn't you? It works, Dave? Yes, sir. It's working, my friend. Beautiful.
In overall performance, the LRV more than met its standards. During a total of 3 hours and 2 minutes of stop-and-go driving on the moon, the vehicle traveled a total of 25 kilometers, about 15 statute miles. Astronauts Scott and Irwin covered almost 4 times as much lunar terrain as the total covered by the crews of the Apollo 11, 12, and 14 missions before them. The lunar soil proved much less troublesome than expected, with the LRV wheel treads leaving tracks only about ½ an inch deep. The suspension system worked extremely well, the astronauts reported, keeping the vehicle very stable, even on several rather sharp turns to avoid lunar obstacles.